Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the match preview, Arsenal versus Everton. Trip to the Emirates, where we have only won once in its entire existence.
We have, yeah.
Which was, of course, in the COVID season.
We've won one of the last 26 games away at Arsenal. Fair play. Consistent.
But we did beat them.
The other week.
2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. So,
Everton have never won a Premier League game against a team starting top of the league in the Premier League era.
is that a fact?
That's a fact, yeah. Losing 19 such matches. The Toffee's last league victory away to top flight leaders was in September 1986 when we won 2-1 at Wimbledon.
Jesus.
So there you go. Historically,
Wimbledon on top of the league?
In September.
That is incredible.
September.
So that's away from home now, obviously.
Yeah, away from home.
Yeah, very difficult game. But you know what? We sat here a few weeks ago when we were looking at the Arsenal game thinking we have got absolutely zero chance of winning that game of football, and we won it.
We did.
So how are you feeling about this one?
We've got absolutely zero chance of winning the match. I'll be honest with you, and people will probably give me stick for this, but I can't see anything other than an Arsenal victory on Wednesday. Saturday was obviously massively disappointing. But even if we'd have beat Villa, I'd have been looking at this thinking maybe the best we can get is a draw. I think they're doing well. Obviously, they had a little wobble, didn't they? We beat them and then City beat them. They lost to City in the FA Cup as well, hadn't they?
Drew with Brentford.
Yeah. I just don't... We just haven't got goals in us. No. Do you know what I mean? The biggest, for me, this week, we've obviously got Forest away on Sunday, and that is the bigger of the two, quite simply because they're by us. And it would be, and I hate myself for saying this, but it would be like damage limitation for me at this stage with Arsenal, because goal difference will be a big thing.
No, I understand what you're saying. I can't really sit here and project an Everton win. I just can't, because no. you can't normally. When Everton have had really good sides, we've gone down there and we've been poor. So you can't really envisage a win, and that's the difficult thing with Everton at the moment, isn't it? We've won one away game all season, Southampton. We're going to Arsenal, but you know we went to City, went the Etihad, and no one gave us a chance.
Yeah.
And we had a game plan, and we hung in there, and we got the goal. And even when we got the goal, there's plenty of time left for them to get another goal, and they didn't. So you can't write it off. But do you think, though, with there being 3 games in the week and a huge game on Sunday against Forest, do you think there should be changes? Because let's just have a look at the team that played Saturday. You know, obviously, this team has been the same for the last couple of games. Pretty much the team is used in all 4 games, by a couple of changes. But can you see changes in there? Because and who would you look to change?
It's difficult to see whether to look at it and go, he will make these changes, but he should do. I think there's a case for Yerry Mina coming in. Yeah. I think there's a case for Ben Godfrey coming in, to be honest with you. We got to look at people. I understand people's points of view. Will go, this is a game though, and it's a game with points, and we need. I get that. I totally get that. But are we really asking Seamus Coleman to play 3 games in 8 days? Tough games as well, not ones where we have all the ball and he hasn't got it. But he's going to be up against. It was Martinelli, wasn't it? At Goodison, I imagine he'll be the same. He's really quick, and he done a great job on him at Goodison. You could understand maybe Dyke's going, well, we'll just do it again then. But Conor Cody's not had a good time 2 of the last 3 games. Does he therefore try and get Ben Godfrey back in and go, let's have some insurance with Ben Godfrey? Does he go full Carlo and go, actually let's give Seamus and Michalenko a blow, and we'll have Holgate at right back and Godfrey at left back? You know, what does Mina come? So there's options there, and that again, that's indicative, I think, of Everton's squad, is that the options are all in defence. There's no midfield options, like you said before. We were talking on something else. Tom Davies is the only midfield option at the moment who's fit, and we don't have options up front. I'd personally I'd play Sims, because what I would do right now is I'd go all in on Sims right now for the next few games till Dom's back. I would.
Yeah.
Maupay just be a sub for me.
When Dom's back.
If Dom comes back,
Great
you know what
bounce.
I mean. You know what I mean.
Great
I haven't bounced it. Now, if you know, but because Ellis Sims is more of the type we want, a tall, stronger striker, and he's proven he can get goals at times. You know, certainly in other leagues. So you've got to give him that experience.
Yeah, I'd definitely make. I'd definitely take Connor Cody out.
Who do you bring in? No, Mina or Godfrey?
That's a good one. I don't know. You know, Godfrey maybe cut for the covering pace. I think in a team like this. Otherwise shit on the edge of your box for the entire game.
And you're asking for trouble.
And then maybe I'd bring Mason Holgate in at right back.
Give Seamus a blow.
Give Seamus a blow.
Ready for Sunday.
Yeah, and I mean that just for a blow. I don't think it's fair to be playing him 3 times in a week, especially when he does run his heart out. He really does. He's not someone who goes hard, and you can question quality of performances sometimes, but he's not someone who goes hard.
And we don't want him getting injured because Patterson's not.
Ellis Sims, I would bring in up front. Again, just experience. I don't. Maupay is like, again, he's another hologram. He's not really there. He's not. Honest to God, you could project Tupac up front for us, and I honestly think he'd have as much effect. I mean, I honestly think the beams of light could get a little knock on some of those crosses that have been coming in.
Can we project Dixie Dean?
No, because someone would claim loads of goals or something.
All right,
or it'd go against his appearance, so therefore the stats would.
It wouldn't. Yeah.
But I genuinely believe that those beams of light would maybe get on the end of things more than Maupay is.
He's just not. He's not
anything, is he?
Not
anything, is he?
At all.
And listen, you know, there has been quality. Listen, my favourite player, Dwight McNeil. What he said it.
Yeah.
He's put some decent balls into the box, and all it takes is someone making a gamble or even just making themselves big. So when a cross comes in, they can jump and out-jump the fellow who's standing next to him, which Maupay can never do.
No.
You know, I genuinely think I could maybe have a little go against some of these, but you know, pause a little bit more of it.
Would you? Is there not a case for Damari Gray up front just because of the pace and the ball over the top?
I'll be honest. I'm getting to. My feelings for Damari Gray are almost that thing of like, when I watch him, I just think you don't actually care. Your body language says to me that you're just going through the motions. Of course, that doesn't mean anything because that's just me. But I watched him come on the other night. Listen, he could play because again, you're changing things up. Him for me, I'd play him maybe if he did play for a Wobie. I'd honestly leave Dwight The love's there for Dwight at the moment, but I just think Dwight McNeil on that left-hand side, just putting the ball in the box, is actually something that just works for. It just seems to be able to work for.
Well, he will anyway, because he'll want him to double up on Saka.
So I'd actually think about taking a Wobie out and putting him on the bench and maybe putting Damari Gray on. But again, the problem is then the problem with that is, and this is probably why it won't happen, is the reason one of the successes we got at Goodison is we doubled up on those wide plays, and Damari Gray ain't doing that. He ain't doing that for you. He's just not. And in a game where you're talking about, you know, trying to keep maybe the score down, they're gonna have to work this way rather than work that way. And that's where you need an Ellis Sims. That's where you need an outball. That's where you need to go time. You're just gonna go long. Otherwise, it's gonna be an onslaught. Especially.
But I don't. You're right, and I absolutely agree. But you don't want it to be a situation for Ellis Sims where they're the only chances he's getting.
No, but
he played him at Anfield, and then in the 2 games at home where he might have done a bit more, he was sat on the
problem is the other way of doing it is you go 5 at the back and you play Gray off Ellis Sims, but then you're changing your whole thing on that long and then
it's not worth it.
It's a really hard one, but ultimately Dyche, unfortunately, does not have many tools in his box, and this is the problem, and this is why you look at the system and go, well, if it's not Maupay, it's Ellis Sims, and you're just thinking, well, that's a problem. If it's not a Wobie, it's Damari Gray. If it's not Dwight McNeil, it's Damari Gray. If it's not Michalenko, who is it? If it's not Seamus, who is it?
Benackley, give him a go. Yeah, they warmed up the other day.
He clearly must be. Do you think I think what's going to happen at the end of the year is Michael McIntyre's going to come back. And he's going to reveal that this was an elaborate hoax built off the back of the one from the Kiev game.
Because Van Agri's still actually playing in Portugal.
Yeah.
And this
kid is...
really Van Agri.
Yeah, he's not really Van Agri.
He's a... What is he? He's
a competition winner.
Yeah.
He's a competition winner who's there. Remember that lad who wrote that book about playing in all different sports?
Yeah.
And Walter Smith brought him on in a pre-season game. It's going to be something like that. Van Agri's going to write a book at the end of the season. Or he's like... He's a plant.
Van Agri's not going to, because he's actually playing every week in Portugal.
I reckon Van Agri is actually a guy from Watchdog, right, who's been put at Everton. You know the way they do those whistleblower things? Where they come in and have those secret, like, cameras?
Yeah.
Van Agri goes to train him.
In like a rucksack.
Van Agri goes to train him. And he's talking to players, going, oh, yeah, how do you do it? And they're like, we don't tell anyone this, but we don't actually train every day of the week. We actually have Mondays off.
Stop it. That's what happened.
That's what used to happen. It's all changed now.
Yeah.
But he hasn't got the options. He just hasn't got the options. And
on Saturday, he had him warming up. I thought at 1-0, I thought he's going to bring him on.
Might have just been cold.
It was cold.
He might have just been cold.
No, I was thinking, I wonder if he's going to bring him on at 1-0 just to try and have another attacking option rather than Michalenko.
Go for it.
But then he didn't, did he?
Just go for it.
So.
I don't know. This is a really, really difficult game, and there's very little you can sort of... listen, from our point, Sean Dyche will have a plan. Plan could go out the window after 5 minutes. That's the problem. If Arsenal score first, if you want to talk about percentages, the percentages of getting anything out of the game are cut to about 2%, aren't they?
0%.
But they are, aren't they? Because we have to score. And if we're going to score, there has to be some kind of worldie, and then you have to hang on. Yeah. And it'll be very, very difficult. Very, very close it will. The top of the league. They've only lost 3 games. You know, two of those were two of the top 3. You know, it becomes...
And one of the bottom 3.
It's a ridiculously hard
Everton
game.
have won 4 of the last 5 games against Arsenal, which is as many as they've won in 3 million games or something.
But not away.
The league games.
What it is, I mean, listen.
Just 1 away, yeah.
It is what it is. It's a tough game. You've got to play tough games. He'll create a plan. He'll ask the players to execute the plan. If they can, it'll be remarkable. I'm not 100% confident they can. I'm not even 2% confident they can. Because we simply do not have the players. We do not have the players.
I think they can stick to a plan, but if you've got no threat at the other end, that's where the plan falls down. The defenders might be brilliant, Pickford might be brilliant, the midfield work the socks off. Arsenal have got way more quality than us, so therefore they can open us up and score a goal. You can do a good job and lose the game.
Yeah.
If you had a threat at the other end, then that's where you might nick these games, but we haven't got that.
But that's the other side of it, isn't it? If you haven't got that threat at the other end and the opposition know you haven't got that threat, then what do? They go at you and at you and at you, and it becomes relentless.
And especially if it doesn't stick up front, which it doesn't.
And we know the atmosphere is improved at the Emirates, and we know, this is their game in hand, and if they win it, they go back 5 points clear of Man City, and everything is on them to win the game, and it's pulling a rabbit out of the hat.
It is mad. Arsenal have won I said this before, 99 of their 203 league games against Everton. They could become the first team in English history to register 100 victories against a specific opponent.
I wonder what that
I'm sure Arteta.
I wonder what that stat was when the Premier League started.
Well, it wouldn't have been anywhere near that, because they just literally, it's a home win for them most seasons, isn't it? Arsenal, after a run of 10 consecutive home wins in the Premier League, Arsenal have won just 1 of the last 4 at the Emirates.
There you go.
Lost 1 and drew 2.
Well, listen, I think they drew the last one to Brentford, didn't they? Obviously, there was a lot of controversy over the VAR that day. They've obviously lost to City as well. So maybe their fans will be a little bit nervy about this game. Maybe their fans will be thinking, this is our game and we have to win this. We can't have that door open. And maybe if Everton can frustrate them early on and, that frustration gets into the ground, then who knows if we've got a viable threat, if they have been working on something for Ellis. Don't forget, this is only our 2nd away game with Sean Dyche. In his 1st away game, he played Ellis up front. So who's to say he's been looking at that and thinking, away games, and now I know what I need to do with Ellis, or we've been working on something to get Ellis more into the game. Who knows? They train every day. They can't just be training with Mopai. They've only got 2 centre forwards as it stands. So maybe they have been working on a plan. And again, it's about sometimes you can get lucky. Sometimes you do put a plan in place and everything falls for you on the day. Sometimes you get that touch of luck. Now, people say, well, you got that luck maybe at Goodison Park, but
it wasn't a lucky win.
No, it wasn't a lucky win, of course. It wasn't a lucky win. We deserved to win it. Maybe this is the one where we get the luck then. And Arsenal are like, oh my God, we've battered everyone, and for some reason we can't beat Everton. Let's hope that's the case.
Deitch has had he took points at Arsenal for Burnley as well, draws and stuff. So, last Everton player to score home and away against Arsenal in the same season. It happened in 03-04. Who do you think it was?
03-04. Kale? Oh no, sorry. Wayne Rooney?
No. The striker?
Kevin Campbell? No. Don Ferguson?
Little striker.
Thomas Rudinski? Okay, there you go. Got that in the end.
The one where Jeffers, when you could play the lone against your own, the lone player against your team, and Jeffers pulled it back and Rad smashed it in at the park end. And then was the away. Got beat away and he scored anyway, but that was it. It's a long time since an Everton player scored in both games, home and away against them, and Tarkowski probably represents as good a chance as anyone has scored in a goal for us, doesn't he? Off a set piece. So I wonder if we'll see the return at the back post corner, which against Villa wasn't there for some reason.
No. Maybe, and maybe that'll be the opportunity. And maybe when we're 3-0 up at half time from 3 corners going deep, that
Tarkowski hat-trick.
Then everyone will be like, why you no believer? I don't know why they've got that accent.
I'm not going to say
it was Farad.
It was Farad having a go. I told you that was the centre forward we were getting. He was called JT.
There you go. Listen.
Shaking everywhere.
It is the week of the 7th anniversary of Farad Mashiri coming to Everton from Arsenal.
It's almost synergy.
It's synergy. He's going back, and this time he's bringing
Toffee with
him. Dun,
Arsenal will be worried. You never know.
Fear the Toffee, honestly.
Why not?
I'll be back.
Tremendous head. Tremendous head.
Listen, what can we say?
It's gone.
What can we say?
It
ain't on telly. That's the good news. It ain't on telly. You'll all have to find yourselves a perfect.
Will the board be there? Of course they will. They'll be there. That one won't be.
Yeah.
Come on, Blues. Just do something that no one, including Evertonians, think you're going to do. Upset the apple cart. Get an away win. Huge 3 points.
Do it.
Why not?
Do it.
Win 2 away games in a week, for like 5 days, and let everyone just be like, what is going on? They've won 1 in the last 13. How the hell have they won 2 in 4 days?
What is going on? I'd be definitely asking that question.
Yeah.
There you go. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Before we go, let's just punish ourselves by looking at Arsenal's team from the last game. There you go. They played Trossard up front at
false night. At Leicester, good win. Saka with a goal again, wasn't it?
No, it was Martinelli.
Oh, Martinelli scored.
Martinelli.
Martinelli.
But they went with Trossard instead, so that's an interesting one. Obviously, they've got no Palmer's Party, and Jorginho was playing in the mid, but he's
done well though.
He helped get the goal last week, didn't he?
Well, it
wasn't. There was no goal.
Yeah, he played it off the bar against Martinez's head.
Yeah, it's called an own goal last time. So
he's done well.
Yeah,
Come back 2
later.
away games, 2 wins.
And let's just have a look at Saka's numbers as well. Why not? 24 games, 9 goals, 8 assists, 2.5 shots a goal. It's just signed a new contract for Arsenal as well. Everything's flying for the kid. Hopefully, he's flying into the stand on Wednesday night when Tarkowski lashes him in there. That's just a celebration when Tarkowski scores. He's going to pick him up and just go woof, woof,
because he scored. When who scored?
Tarkowski scores. That's the Taki celebration.
I'd rather Saka just not have a very good game and Everton win the game, and then he can do what he wants for the rest of the season.
There you go.
Fair play to him.
There you go.
He's a nice kid.
Let us know your thoughts in the comments on this one. And if you want more great videos, join us over on Toffee TV Premier. We do exclusive live shows every single day over there. The link is in the description, and the QR code will be coming up on the screen. Just scan it. See you later.